Manifestation becomes easier the moment you stop trying to get this state and start being it. Welcome, you guys. Welcome to our Neville Goddard's and nervous system lecture, where we explore Neville Goddard's The Power of Awareness book. This is one of the best books ever written by Neville Goddard himself. So, today we will explore chapter 19, Essentials. As usual, if you want the entire chapter reading, here's the card on the screen. You can click there. So, what I want to say about this very chapter, I think this chapter is Neville's practical summary. Because, if someone would really ask him, hey, what do I need to understand about manifestation? What do I need to know more about manifestation? I believe Neville Goddard would direct actually them to this chapter. He would say, you have to learn about desire, about the importance of stillness, about feeling of the wish fulfilled, and the difference between thinking of the event and thinking from the event. So, are you excited? Because I sure am. Let's explore it together. The essential points in the successful use of the law of assumption are these. First, and above all, yearning, longing, intense, burning desire. All right? With all your heart, you must want to be different from what you currently are. Intense, burning desire combined with the intention to make good, of course, is the mainspring of action, at the beginning of all successful ventures. In every great passion which achieves its objective, a desire is concentrated and intentioned. You must first desire and then intend to succeed. All right? So, many people have been taught by other people or just by life itself that desire creates sort of suffering, But Neville doesn't say that. He begins with desire. And why? Because desire reveals our soul's direction itself. So every desire points toward a state, desired relationship that you have, desired career, desired level of freedom that you want. So desired version of yourself that you have just kind of imagine yourself to be as. So desired abundance. So desire is not evidence that something is missing. It is often evidence that consciousness is moving. Your consciousness is moving. That something within you is asking for kind of expression, for greater expression. So desire is never an obstacle, you guys. I want you to understand. Desire is never an obstacle. It is often an invitation to expand more. All right? As the heart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. Blessed are they that hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Here the soul is interpreted as the sum total of all you believe, think, and feel. All right, here, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. So, so Neville says the soul is the sum total of all you believe, think, feel, and accept as true. In other words, your present level of awareness. God, I am, are the source and fulfillment of all your desires. Understood psychologically, I am an infinite series of levels of awareness, and I am what I am according to where I am in the series. This quotation describes how your present level of awareness longs to transcend itself. Righteousness is the consciousness of already being what you want to be. All right? So, this may be one of the most overlooked sort of paragraphs in this chapter. Neville says your awareness is never fixed, you guys. It is layered and moving. Awareness always is moving, it's expanding. So in practical terms, what I can notice that sometimes people tend to feel guilty for wanting more peace, more rest, more freedom, more fulfillment, more abundance, more expression, right? Like expression of their abundance. Neville sees it differently, and I love this about him. So, through nervous system lens, the desire itself may be showing you where your current identity is beginning to outgrow itself. It's a, it's actually celebration. I mean, if you notice it, it's you better off celebrating it. So, not every desire comes from lack, you guys. Some desires they come from expansion. All right, this is very important to understand. Second, cultivate physical immobility and physical incapacity, not unlike the state described by Keats in his Ode to a Nightingale. A drowsy numbness pains my senses, as though hemlock I had drunk. It is a state akin to sleep, but one in which you are still in control of the direction of your attention. You must learn to induce this state at will, but experience has taught that it is more easily induced after a substantial meal or when you wake in the morning feeling very loath to arise. So, what I want to say that um, it's like SATs, yeah, right. It is SATs. He explains SATs. Yeah, so what it is, this is what many people assume that Neville Goddard is kind of teaching some mysticism, right? It's like a mystical ritual or something. He's actually describing a practical shift. So when your body settles, uh, when your brain is still not that aroused, you will feel fewer distractions, less sensory input, less in like attention pulled outward. You know what I mean? So the nervous system lens, a regulated nervous system exactly before you fall asleep or after a meal when you feel like drowsy, right? Or right upon waking, your system is naturally more receptive. So, not because stillness manifests, but because stillness reduces interference of what you're imagining, what you're trying to kind of exercise within yourself. So, the quieter the body becomes, the easier it is for you to enter a new state. All right. So, this is very important to understand, you guys. All right. So, the third and last thing to do is to experience in your imagination what you would experience in reality. Have you achieved your goal? Understood, right? You must gain it in imagination first, for imagination is the very door to the reality of that which you seek, always. But use imagination masterfully and not as an onlooker thinking of the end, but as a partaker thinking from the end. Okay? So, as a partaker, thinking from the end. This is very important, you guys. Imagine that you possess a quality or something you desire which hitherto has not been yours. Surrender yourself completely to this feeling until your whole being is possessed by it. So, this is one of the most important distinctions in manifestation space. In practical terms, what Neville Goddard just explained us, thinking of the end is more like, I hope it happens. Oh, I like that thing, right? But thinking from the end, this is who I am. You already kind of establish certain imaginary like images or certain plans or anything that's related to that subject. You're already building in your minds scenarios of what you will do where you're already having that thing that you desire. All right, you're already living from it. You do not contradict your desire. You do not act not integrally towards your desire. You know what I mean? So you're always aligned. You're aligned with your desire. So through nervous system lens, the person who thinks of the end, they keep kind of a desire in the future. All right, but the other person who thinks from the end temporarily occupies that state in the present moment and is like preparing himself herself for welcoming that thing, because they are already viewing the world from the lenses of already having that thing that they desire. They do not watch the desired reality, they experience life from within it. They make choices. They act congruently. They are aligned with it. All right. So this is very important to understand. Thinking of and thinking from totally different things, you guys. I hope you understood it. If you have any questions, please put it down below in the comments. I will answer you. But yes, this is a golden piece by Neville Goddard. This is what most people don't understand. Because when you're thinking from at the end, you are already sort of living from this state overall. All right. So let's go here. This state differs from reverie in this respect. It is the result of a controlled imagination and a steadied, concentrated attention, whereas reverie is the result of an uncontrolled imagination, usually just a daydream. So Neville makes a distinction here, you guys. Daydreaming is passive. Controlled imagination is intentional, however. Alright? So in practical terms, many people visualize, but very few participate. They watch, they observe, they analyze, they evaluate. So Neville asks something different. Become involved. Become the version of yourself already experiencing it. So, through nervous system lens, this isn't fantasy, it's temporary identity rehearsal. All right, you guys? Very important distinction. A state is not, I just want you to understand that the state is not created through observation, it is occupied through participation with that state. This is very important to understand, you guys. It's not watching it from distance, it's not just thinking of it. It's being it. It's acting integrally. It's being. It's making choices based on already having kind of, when you have something that you desire, so you already have it in your mind, and you make every choice in your life based on that. Not because you are kind of trying to predict what to do, what will happen, but rather in terms of accommodating that desire, welcoming it, removing all the distortions, all the debris that's not aligned with that desire. All right, very important to understand, you guys. In the controlled state, a minimum of effort suffices to keep your consciousness filled with the feeling of the visual field. But the physical and mental immobility of the state is a powerful aid to voluntary attention and a major factor of minimum effort. All right? So, minimum effort. So, this section challenges much of modern manifestation culture, right? Minimum effort. It's not forcing belief, it's not forcing anything, guys. Neville literally writes a minimum of effort suffices. So through nervous system lens, your deeper state feels natural to you. The less energy is required to maintain it. So if you feel your state if you feel like you need to convince yourself of that state, it's not there yet. But the deeper the state feels natural, yes, the state really, the less energy, I would say, is required to maintain it. All right. So naturalness requires less effort than struggle. All right. There is not much struggle, to be honest. So the application of these 3 points: desire, physical immobility, the assumption of the wish already fulfilled, is the way to at-one-ment or union with your desire. So desire, physical immobility, and the assumption of the wish already being fulfilled. All right, you guys. So Neville gives us the formula. Exactly. All right. So there is no chasing, no controlling, no forcing, just simple alignment. Okay. The first point is thinking of the end with intention to realize it. The third point is thinking from the end with a feeling of accomplishment. The secret of thinking from the end is to enjoy being it. The minute you make it pleasurable and imagine that you are it, you start thinking from the end. So, you guys, yes, this may be the most important sentence in this entire chapter. There is no force, there is no effort, there is no discipline, right? It's enjoyment. Because you cannot call something that you're used to doing a discipline. Okay, it's already you, so you do not call it discipline overall. You enjoy it, you exude it easily, it's natural to you. So enjoy being the version of you who already has it. Okay, because enjoyment, real enjoyment, stabilizes identity faster than effort ever could, you guys. This is very important to understand because what becomes enjoyable often really becomes believable to you. All right, so yeah, do not try to see the manifestation subject as something to constantly force, chase. No, you live from it. You make your decisions, life decisions, based on it. Of course, you adjust yourself, but you're pulled to do so because you've convinced your mind already enough. You understand? So this is very important to understand, you guys. This chapter is literally Neville's blueprint, meaning desire initiates movement, stillness reduces noise, assumption creates your identity, and the real mechanism underneath of all of it that you will eventually stabilize what you repeatedly become familiar with being. Okay? So, you guys, I also want to tell you what I was saying, that chapter is literal Neville Goddard's blueprint. So, enjoy it, become it, and move toward it with graceful beauty and enjoyment and love. And for tonight, I want you to choose one desire and then ask if this desire was already true, what would feel within me different now? Not next year, not eventually, not someday, but right now. Just imagine yourself already having what you want to have. And you will be really amazed how quickly you can shift your state. You will not try to convince yourself. You will simply experience it in the now. All right? So, I hope you liked it, and I will see you in the next one.